I deceived myself by telling myself, oh, you just are asking the wrong questions. You're just being too invasive. And when I see that, I can take my power back. I can recognize, no, I'm not asking the wrong questions. There's a response here that is out of proportion with what I'm asking. And then I can ask myself, do I want to see more? Because if I do, I'm going to have to actually move in closer to that and not back off. Hello, and welcome to the Complex Couples Podcast. I'm Heidi. I'm a couples therapist and relationship coach specializing in mixed orientation marriages and mixed gender identity relationships. Whether you're just discovering this reality or you've been on this journey for a long time, this is the space where your marriage matters, your values matter, and your choices matter. Let's dive in. Hello all, thanks so much for being here. So often after I get done recording, I think of things that I didn't say or that I've missed. And I think the great thing about a weekly podcast is that I can come back to it. So just some thoughts that I've had recently. I talked about self-deception a little while ago and how that's the biggest problem that I see in my office. It occurred to me the other day that one of the ways we can self-deceive is actually by downplaying our own abilities. I often think of self-deception as far as thinking that we are better than we are at conflict or something. Like the way I see it often play out is that someone comes into my office, they really can see, often they can see the things that their spouse is doing that are really bad or causing a reaction, but they have a harder time seeing themselves and what they're doing. And so I often think of self-deception in the context of not understanding the bad things that we do and painting ourselves maybe better than we think we are. But I think a lesser known problem is actually how I might paint myself worse and I might miss my strengths. It's equally important to see your own power, to see your strengths, to see what you're good at, and to recognize that you are capable. So I need to be able to see what is actually real. Self-deception can go either way. Self-deception is deceiving yourself about what is true in strengths or in weakness. So it's very important to be able to look at what is true. So let me see if I can give an example of this. One of the ways that I see people do this is say it is a mixed orientation marriage where a spouse has come out. It can be really easy to go into a position of, I'm the hurt one here. You didn't tell me. You didn't reveal this to me. You've been doing things behind my back. It can just be very, very easy to see ourselves as victims of our spouse's actions. And it can be difficult to tease apart where we have power. For instance, in my own marriage, when Daniel, I mentioned that I did ask him at one point if he'd ever been attracted to men. And he got very angry and defensive and he stormed out of the room. And I was very dissatisfied with the answer, but the reality is I really looked away. I just decided I don't need to know. And when he's ready, he'll tell me. So to some degree in that circumstance, I am self-deceiving. I am saying that I don't need to look or I don't want to see it. And it's not to say that there wasn't deception there, because it was there. But I was also very willing to let go of an issue and not actually pursue it further. Now, I don't regret that decision. Actually, at the time, I don't think I would have really been ready for that. And I'm not sure how I would have handled it. So I'm able to be grateful that things happened the way they did. But to merely hold Daniel accountable for that and view myself as being the victim of his deception is not a fully accurate picture. I was capable there of seeing that something was going on for him. I just didn't look closer. I didn't really want to know, and so I let it go. And I actually was willing to view myself as the problem there. I was willing to say, oh, well, I just shouldn't have asked that question. When he got defensive and angry and turned away, I was willing to take it on to self-deceive that I was the problem rather than recognizing that I might have clued into something that was really there. I had a strength there. I had recognized things in my husband that said he could have been attracted to men at times. I was bringing it forward, and when I did, it was not received well, and I allowed that to shut me down. So I deceived myself by telling myself, oh, you just are asking the wrong questions. You're just being too invasive, things like that. That is also a form of self-deception, and I just wanted to be clear about that. And when I see that, I can take my power back. I can recognize, no, I'm not asking the wrong questions. There's a response here that is out of proportion with what I'm asking. And then I can ask myself, do I want to see more? Because if I do, I'm going to have to actually move in closer to that and not back off. I'm going to keep this short today, but I hope that that helps you understand another way that we can self-deceive that is not useful to us. If you have any questions, comments, please email me, Heidi@complexcouplescoaching.com, or you can visit my website for more coaching opportunities or upcoming events and workshops, www.complexcouplescoaching.com. I hope you have a wonderful week.